fellow LEGO friends, and welcome to the first review of 2026. Today we are taking a deep dive into something very special. When LEGO revealed the Creel house, I was immediately intrigued. A haunted looking house, 13 minifigure, and a transformation feature that literally turns the whole build inside out. On a paper it sounds incredible. But after building it, displaying it, and comparing it to the other LEGO houses in my collection, I have got some very mixed feelings. So today, let's break everything down and see whether this set is truly something special or just a very expensive party trick. If you don't know me yet, my name is Lucas, welcome and thanks for watching. So let's begin with the minifigures. At first glance, the minifigure lineup actually looks pretty impressive. 13 figures in total is nothing to complain about. That said, I am not entirely convinced LEGO picked up the right characters for this set. And to be completely honest, I even had a bit of trouble recognizing some of them while I was building. But let's slow down and break it all down figure by figure. Starting with the kids, we get 11 in her training outfit, complete with her juice, which is a really nice detail. She also comes with a secondary facial expression. Alongside her are Dustin, Lucas, Mike and Will. All of them feature alternative facial expressions as well, and Will's second face is especially well done, showing those signature wide eyes from his sorcerer scenes. My only real issue with this group is Dustin's alternative face. Personally, I would have loved to see his beaten up look, since that was basically his default expression for most of Season 5. Then we move on to the older groups. Jonathan, Nancy, Robin and Steve are all included. Everyone gets dual-sided headprints, except Jonathan. But honestly, that kind of tracks. He pretty much had the same facial expression throughout the series anyway, so giving him an alternative face would have been tricky. His torso is also reused from Ron Weasley's in the Philosopher's Stone Collector's Edition set, which feels a bit lazy. Robin, on the other hand, comes with the brick she uses to break into the Creel's house in Season 4, which is a really fun and specific detail. As for Steve, I'm not totally sold on the hairpiece. It feels a bit over the top, and to me, he looks more like Johnny Bravo than Steve from Season 4 or 5. Moving on, Max is included as well, dressed exactly as she appears in Vecna's memories. Then there's Holly Wheeler, who somehow became a main character for Season 5. She is dressed in clothing found inside the Creel house, and she is joined by her imaginary friend, Mr. Whatsit, complete with his pocket watch. If you are paying close attention, you might have noticed that both of them introduce a brand new hair color, which is actually pretty nice. And finally, we get Vecna, cast in dark red. Thanks to extensive printing across the legs, feet and arms, he is actually the most detailed minifigure in the entire set. There is even a new claw element attached to his hand, which lets you recreate those iconic moments where he kills his victims. So yes, 13 minifigures is a solid number, no question about that. But still, I can't help but feel that some characters should have been swapped out. Figures like Erica or even Derek would have made a lot more sense for a Creel house focus set than say Will, Dustin or Mike. But honestly, my biggest issue with this set has to be the vehicles. I'm really not sure why these two were included, because they don't have much to do with the Creel house itself. I get it, they played a fairly important role in Season 5, but even so, they feel a bit out of place here. To me, they either should have been left out entirely or saved up for a different Stranger Things set. Something like a full WQSK radio station build would have made way more sense. That said, let's take a closer look at each vehicle. First up is Steve's BMW. It looks fine overall, perfectly decent for its size, but I can't shake the feeling that it could have used more detail, especially considering how large it is. The front shaping, however, is genuinely well done, and the license plate is a fun touch, using a sticker that references the set's product number. One downside of the narrow windscreen element is the interior layout. You can only fit a single minifigure seated in the center. It looks like there should be room for another figure behind the driver, but unfortunately that's not the case, because once you try to close the roof, things just don't line up. Then we have the WQSK van. From the outside, it actually looks pretty good. Although a lot of that comes down to stickers, there is branding everywhere, including the radio station's frequency, even on the license plates. I do really like the old school aesthetics here, and the sideways building used to recreate interior spaces are really nicely done, but for some reason there is no interior. Lego why? The roof can be removed to access the back of the van, and it even has a radio antenna on top, which is great. Still, just like with the BMW, there is no proper space for minifigures to sit in the back, because once again, closing the roof becomes a problem. One standout detail is the rounded rear window element. It's quite rare, and as far as I know, has only appeared before in the Shire set. That's a cool inclusion. What's a bit disappointing though is that the antenna doesn't actually rotate. So yes, both vehicles are nicely built, no real complaints here, but their inclusion in this set feels questionable at best. And to be completely honest, what I would have added instead as a side build, maybe something more directly tied to the Creel house itself. Speaking of side builds, we also get Will's bike, which is one of the smaller builds here, and once again I am not entirely sure why it's included in this set. Rounding things out, there is also a mailbox and a lamppost. They are fine, they look nice, but the lamppost connection to the Creel house isn't exactly clear to me either. Moving to the house itself, it actually looks really good. I can easily see a lot of collectors adding this straight into their LEGO City layouts. What makes it especially interesting is that the house can be displayed in 3 different ways, which is something you don't see every day. The first option is the boarded up version with wooden planks covering the windows. This gives the house a rundown abandoned look and it works surprisingly well. The second option is achieved simply by removing the boards, which instantly cleans up the exterior and gives us the version of the house we saw in the later seasons. The only real downside here is the exposed studs, but because they are in this dark blue color, they are honestly not that noticeable. Looking more closely at the exterior, the house features some strong Victorian architectural details. You get the asymmetrical facade, an ornate porch, which is actually a fairly simple build but works really well visually, and stained glass element, including the front door. And that door is also the only printed element in the entire set. The decorative windows elements are actually really nice as well, and I don't think I have seen these kite-shaped pieces before, so it is a very welcome addition to the set. I also like the cornice detailing. Also, the visible studs do distract me a bit. One area that could have been improved, in my opinion, is the roof. At times it looks a little messy and unfinished, and when you look at the trees on the other side of the house, well, they look like pretty standard unfinished LEGO trees you will find in a lot of official LEGO sets. That said, those trees aren't just decorative, they actually serve a purpose. But before I show you what they do, let's take a quick look inside the house. Turning the model around reveals the interior, where some of the show's references are immediately recognizable. That said, the house isn't very deep, and because of that, you might run into some issues when trying to position minifigures. Honestly, instead of including 2 vehicles, I would have preferred a deeper house, or ideally, a fully enclosed one, similar to what we got with the Home Alone set. Still, let's take a look at what's actually included here. The entrance hall features a phone and a lamp sitting on a small table, which is a nice, simple start. Next to it is the living room, which is fully furnished, which includes a newspaper tile referencing a story about the school principal. On the opposite side of the house, we have the dining room, the exact location where the Creel family's downfall began. Upstairs, Alice Creel's bedroom is decorated with soft pink accents and a bunny picture. This likely references the dead animals that started appearing around Hawkins, including the rabbit found on the Creel's family lawn. It's a subtle detail, but a pretty dark one. All the way at the back you can spot the radio that Mr. Watsit gave to Holly. To the left, Henry Creel's bedroom is nicely detailed, clearly highlighting his fascination with spiders. There is a printed tile on the bed and a drawing of the Mind Flyer displayed above his trunk. Above that, the attic is filled with candles, the space where Henry practices powers. Over on the right side, we get a scene referencing the moment where Lucas and Max are nearly killed. There is even a drawing of them included here as well. and right in the middle is the section that really gives the whole thing away. If this mechanism were completely hidden, you would not immediately know there is something kind of trick built into the house. So now, let's take a look at the final version of the house. Since the trees are directly attached to the house, pulling them aside immediately reveals the third and final display option. And honestly, this is probably the main reason most people bought this set in the first place, the torn apart version straight out of Vecna's mind layer. The Creel house can fully transform between all three versions, and the transformation is anything but simple. A lot happens all at once. Trees collapse, sections of the house slide outward, others rotate into place, walls break apart, and even the tower section lifts up to reveal the family clock. And it's not just the front of the house either, there is a surprising amount going on inside as well. During the transformation, several stickers are revealed, offering a glimpse into Vecna's mind layer with those eerie, red-tinted landscapes. Some of the stickers are actually quite hard to spot, but the real highlight here, at least for me, is the way the grandfather clock is revealed. So once you have seen this function, it's impossible to unsee it. But even knowing it's there, the fact that you can barely tell where the house actually split is incredibly impressive. It's a real testament to how cleanly the LEGO design team executed this mechanism. Honestly, this is one of the coolest features I have seen in a LEGO set in a long time. Easily better than the transformation we got with the Ornithopter a couple of years ago. Overall, the house looks fantastic from the front, and honestly, I don't mind the open back design all that much. I just wish the build had been a bit deeper to make the interior feel less cramped and more playable. Now, if this set caught your attention, it comes in at a price of $300 or 280 euros or 250 British pounds, and includes 2,593 pieces along with 13 minifigures. And just to be clear, this video is not sponsored by the LEGO Group. However, if you are thinking about picking this set up or any other set from the LEGO website or anything at all from Amazon, I would be incredibly grateful if you used the affiliate links in the description. It's a small gesture, but it makes a big difference and really helps me continue creating content like this, so thank you in advance. Back to the set. Inside the box you will find several stickers and 3 instruction manuals. One is dedicated to the house itself, while the other 2 cover each of the vehicles. What genuinely surprised me though was the introduction section in the main manual. It is packed with interesting facts, not just about Stranger Things, but also about how this set was designed and brought together. That extra bit of effort is always nice to see. And if you were lucky, or maybe just fast enough, on day 1, you might have managed to grab the WQSK radio station gift with purchase. This set includes 2 much needed characters that didn't make it to the main set, Joyce and Hopper. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm really glad they exist in some form. That said, I still think a Cave of Camazotz build would have been a better fit overall, ideally including Max and Holly, while Erica and Derek could have been part of the main build instead. But hey, those are just my thoughts. To give you a better sense of scale, I compared the Creel house to a couple of the other LEGO houses in my collection, the Home Alone set and the Twilight house. The Home Alone set is only slightly more expensive, yet you get over 1000 additional pieces, a fully detailed interior and a completely closed bag. On the other hand, the Twilight house is a bit cheaper and smaller in terms of piece count, but it still feels like a more fully realized product than the Creel house. So that brings us to the big question. Is it really worth it now, especially considering the gift with purchase is no longer available? My honest answer is no. Yes, the set has some very cool play features, but let's be real, how often are you actually going to play with it? That said, the Creel house is truly special. The way it opens up and expands is unlike anything we have seen in recent LEGO sets. You could call it a party trick or even a gimmick, but it's executed so well that it genuinely feels magical. It gives the set a completely different presence compared to traditional modular style buildings. Still, I can't help but think that the car should have been omitted entirely, with those pieces invested back into the house to make it bigger, deeper and more complete. But that is just my take, and now I want to hear yours. Are you excited about this set? And have you watched the Stranger Things finale yet? If you have, did it change the way you see this set? Let me know in the comments below, because I'm genuinely curious whether we are on the same page here. As always, if you enjoyed this review and want to see more LEGO content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and consider using the affiliate links when picking up any brick build models. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy building!